Italy, June 30, 2024. In Italy, the Valle d'Aosta region faces the consequences of the flash flood that hit Cogne and Cervinia, with the regional council meeting to assess the emergency. The videos arriving from social media shows a raging flood of torrents carrying cars and trees with them in a whirlwind of water and mud. In Cervinia, a landslide affected the regional road of Valtournenche. The road was closed downstream from the town but was reopened in the early hours of the morning. Damage also occurred in Piedmont, where dozens of people were displaced in the European valleys of Turin. This happened due to the consequences of the wave of bad weather. The Aosta Valley Regional Civil Protections has no reports of people involved or missing at the moment. In Cogne, 2 helicopters rescue operations were carried out for save residents who affected by the flash flood. A total of 29 people were rescued from 2 shelters on Monte Rosa, where for safety they had stopped and for which they had not moved after the violent storms that hit northwest Italy between 29 and 30 June. The town remains isolated because the only road to reach is closed, caused heavily damaged in several places. Including in the municipal area of Aimavils. Significant damage also occurred on the Valtournenche municipal road, where both the electricity grid and the aqueduct were out of order. In a video, the fire brigade in action as it picked them up and takes them to the valley floor, bypassing debris flow and impassable roads. The Lombardy Flights Department until intervenes. The rotations of the 4 helicopters are bringing back to the valley the tourists who were stranded by the flood that affected the territory of Cogne. This will continue until after sunset. At the moment, 150 people have already come down from Valtournenche and about 200 from Cogne. Due to the flood wave of the Dora Baldi, there have been some floods. In Montreux, 2 families were evacuated from their homes who went up to the upper floors. In Iceland, the river flooded between the localities of Valle and Florence, and some residents were made up to go to up the upper floors. Currently, the state of Route 26 is closed in sections inboard, Donas and Camp-de-Pras. In Valtournenche, the flooding of the Marmore torrents caused extensive damage in the centers of Cervinia. Work is underway to clear the riverbed and for a first intervention in the town. Further down the same valley, in Anti-Saint Andrea, a campsite was evacuated and gas were distributed among various accommodation facilities. During the night, the monitoring and rescue activity continued, which involved civil protections and Valle d'Aosta fire brigade. In Piedmont, 37 people were transferred from a restaurant that remained isolated after a landslide. In Gialamberto, a condominium of 50 people was evacuated as a precaution. Where a town in Valgrande, which was affected by a mud and debris flow yesterday. The firefighters also had to intervene in the plains. In Mati, they moved 2 families due to the risk of flooding of the Stura in Lonzo Torrent. There continues to be running water in the capital. The damage to the Valtournenche aqueduct is very serious. The rescue team have been at work since this morning and will continue the work. The goal is to fill the loading basin near Valtournenche. A water point has been set up in a town, loading water in hamlets. The firefighters are currently working in the area to respond to calls from citizens and to make the structure safe. In the Piedmont, for example, some steepers were left stranded due to the landslide in the Usiglo area in the mountains near Turin. The municipal road is impassable and the steppers are unable to go down to the valley. The situation is returning to normal. It has stopped raining and rescue teams are working with all possible means to clear the riverbed in case of further rain. Saturday 29th of June, much of Cervinia is invaded by mud and debris. All the basements, those below street level, have 2 meters of sand. Almost all the rooms were damaged and even the garage.